Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Those of you who miss me, I'm back, okay, but not fully because right now I'm in school, and as I speak, I'm recording this video in my lecture hall, in my lecture block, okay. All my mates are in their hostels and I'm here recording a video for you, okay, no excuses. All right, so I'll be here with you making videos for you all, okay. So it will take me like 2 months to complete or to finish this semester, and then I'll come back to YouTube fully, okay. So I promise I'll try my best and keep you updated with my videos. All right, so today we're going to learn about images, okay. We're going to learn about images, how to manipulate images with the help of CSS, okay. So enough of the talking, let's go ahead and see how we can manipulate images. All right, so this is my code editor, Visual Studio Code, and then this is my Explorer, and inside it I have my subfolder. Okay, I created a folder called img, and inside img I have two images. I named them 1 and 2. So image 1 looks like this, and image 2 also looks like this. All right, now let me collapse that, and then I have an HTML file. This is going to help us see our work, okay, on the web browser. So this is our HTML document, and then I've opened that inside the browser, and right now there's nothing on it. It's empty, okay. So we go back to our code editor, and then I have my CSS file here, which is also empty. Now take note that these files are linked, okay. So I've connected this to my images.html. Now when I take you back there and then take you to the heading part or the head part of my HTML document, you can see this link. You can see that this is connected to my style.css, okay. So whatever design or style I put here, so something like body, like this, and then I give it a background color, so something like this, background color. I give it something like green, like this, and then take you to the web browser. It's going to work because these files are communicating. You can see the background of this web page has changed to green, okay, instead of that default white. All right, so enough of this unnecessary things. Let's begin with our today's topic. All right, so today we're going to be talking about images. You all know what images are, so we're going to be using CSS to manipulate our images. So how do you add an image to your web page? How do you add an image to your web page? So I'll go to my images.html, and then inside here we have opening and closing of body, okay. So in order to add an image to your web page, there's a special tag called, so you simply open it, which is less than, and put img like this. Now the next thing you will need is the source of your image. Where is your image? Where can the computer locate your image? So you need to put src, which is source, and then you put equal to, and then quotation. So this quotation like this, this is where you're going to specify the path to this image. So in order to specify your path, you need to go back to your root, and then you see we have a subfolder called img. So you simply put img /, and it will pull out all the images that are inside that folder, and then you go ahead and pick one. Perfect. Next, we need to add an alt attribute, okay. Alt attribute is very, very important when it comes to search engine optimization, and those who are also using screen readers to navigate through web pages, those who cannot see what is happening on your web page, they will need what we call screen readers, and this alt tag is going to help them navigate throughout your web page. So it's very, very important that you add an alt tag to all your images, so that when they land on it, they'll know what, or they point at it, they'll know what they are looking at. Okay, so you put an equal to, and then inside this code you need to put to describe that image. So I'm going to describe this image. So this is going to be a CSS image, or an image about CSS. Okay, and that is it, guys. And finally, you need to what? Close everything. So this is how you write a simple code to link or create a file, an image file on your web page. Okay, so now let's go to our web browser and then reload this page, and then we'll see that our image is rendered, and this is wonderful. All right, so that's how you add image to your web page. This is very, very basic. It's not complicated. Okay, so next we're going to look at how to resize this image, how to increase the size of this image, and how to reduce the size of this image. So in order to increase the size, you simply go back to your document, which is HTML document, and then you'll be able to increase and reduce the size of this image. So we can use what we call inline styling in order to do that. So all you need to do is to come here, and then you add width or height to your image. So I'm simply going to add what we call width equal to, and this is what we call inline CSS. I'll show you how to do the other form of CSS with the help of our style.css file, right? So we simply put the size of your image here, but before that, let's see the size of our original image. All right, so you can see that your image size is displayed or rendered here, 1380 by 720. So this 720 is the height of the image, and this 1280 is the width of your image, and it's also displaying the size of that image. Okay, the size is occupying. All right, so let's go ahead and then minimize this image. So how do we do that? You can go back to your HTML document, but before that, let me collapse it, and then inside here, the width, we're going to reduce the width of our image. So the width, will reduce it to something like, let's just say 100 pixels. Okay, so 100 px, and then next, all we need to do is to go to our web browser and then reload this page, and you can see the image is now tiny. You can see. So that's how you reduce and increase image size. You can also increase it to, let's say, 500, and reload. You can see the image has increased a little bit further. So that's how you work with image sizes. Now let me show you how to work with images with the help of external CSS styling. So I'll take you back to my code editor and then take you to style.css, and we're going to work with our image, or work on our image with the help of this file. So I'll simply take you back to the images.html, and then all we need to do is to clear this particular block of code like this, and then what we need to do is to target this particular element, which is img. So I'll take you to style, and then inside here I'll simply put img and then open parentheses like this, and inside here you can specify the width, height of your image, and do whatever you want to do with it. Okay, before that, let me take you back to the web browser, reload, and you can see the image is back to its normal size because we cleared that particular code that made it looked smaller. So now it's back to its original size. So now with the help of external CSS, we're going to give it width. Okay, so we're going to give it a width like this, And then inside here we're going to give it a bigger width. So let's give it something like 2000, like this, and make sure or remember to put your pixels. And after that we'll go back to our web browser and then reload, and this image is going to look larger on the screen. So I'll simply click on reload, and as you can see, the image has increased in width. Okay, so that's how you work with image width and height. There's what we call aspect ratio, and this is a little bit mathematical. To work around that, all we need to do is to work on only one side of the image, and then the other part of it will be adjusted automatically. Let's talk about how to change the shape of our image. You can make your image look rounded, okay, or have curved edges. So we're going to be looking at that in this part of the video using CSS. So in order to do that, there's what we call border radius. So I'll take you to my code editor, and then inside this HTML document, which is images.html, there's an image here, and then you can see this tag img. We're going to be targeting this tag when we get to the style.css. So I'll come here and then put img like this, and inside here we're going to give our image what we call border radius. Okay, so just put border radius, and then you can give it something like 10 pixels. Okay, so when you give it 10 pixels and save the changes, and then I'll take you back to the web browser and reload, the edges have changed. If you cannot see that, okay, let me increase this 10 to something like 50 pixels. Then we reload the page. Now you can see the edges of this image. See how they are curved, right? So that's border radius. The next thing we'll be looking at is how to change our image shape to something like a cycle. So in order to do that, we need to go back to our style.css, and instead of giving it a pixel, we're going to give it percentage. Okay, so let's remove the px and then put percentage. Okay, so when you give it 50% border radius, our image is going to look circular. Now you can see this is like an oval. Okay, so that is it. Now it should look like a complete circle and not an oval, but because the image is a rectangle, that's why it's looking this way. But if you want it to be a complete circle, then your image should have what we call a circular, complete circular look. Now let me demonstrate that by giving it or manipulating with our image and giving it a square shape. Okay, so before that, let me go on top here, and then I'm going to give it width. Okay, so I'm going to give it width, let's say 2000. Okay, so 2000 pixels, and then I'll come down and put height, and then I'm going to give it like the same 2000 pixels because I want it to look like a square. Okay, so 2000 pixels, and for now let's remove our radius like this. Okay, so now let me take you to web browser, reload, and this image should look like a square. Now you can see that we have a square, complete square, right? From here to here it should be the same as from here to here. Okay, good. So now what we're going to do is to give it a border radius. All right, so we're going to give it a border sorry. All right, so border radius like this, and then I'm going to give it 50%, like this, and then I'll take you to web browser and we reload this page, You can see this is a complete cycle. It doesn't look like that oval shape. Okay, so in order to get that complete shape, just like this, your image should be a square. Okay, so that's what I'm trying, the idea I'm trying to put across, or the concept I'm trying to project. So that's it. Okay, so in this part of the video, we're going to look at image opacity. Before that, let's clear everything inside here. So I'll simply clear everything, and then we talk about opacity. What is opacity? Opacity is about how visible an image is. So right now, this image has an opacity of 1. Okay, because this is all its visibility. So if you give it opacity of 0, that means this image cannot be seen. It's going to look like this. You can't see anything. So opacity ranges from 0 to 1. So you can have 0 0.1, 0 0.2, all the way to 1. So all we need to do is to go to our code editor, and then we're going to be targeting that image element. Okay, so in order to give your image opacity, just put opacity like this, and then you can put what we call 0. Okay, so when you put 0 like this, and then go to web browser and then reload this page, you are not going to see anything. You can see, meanwhile the image is there. Guess that you cannot see it. Okay, you can see that the image is still there, but it has opacity of 0. So we can go back there and then manipulate with it, and then give it like 0 0.3. okay, like this, and then I will simply reload this page. You can see how blurred it is. This is the image, but it's not all that visible, so it's having opacity of 0 0.3. okay, so that is opacity. Let me go ahead and then add another image and then show you their differences. So I will simply, in order to differentiate these our two images, before that, let me duplicate this line, and then I'll simply change this 1 to 2, because our other image is, I named it 2. All right, so now when I take you to my web browser and reload, you can see that the other image is here, and the opacity is applied to both of these images. Now let me clear that opacity thing. So I'll simply take you back to the CSS, and then all I need to do is I'll clear this 0 0.1, and I can just put 1 here. Okay, sorry, I can just put 1 here, and then when I take you to the web browser, this image is going, these images are going to look brighter on the screen. So I'll reload this page. I can see how these images look. So I'm going to simply, I'll come here, and then I'm going to give them something like, let's say, class. Okay, so I'll give them, see, we're not learning only images, we're learning a lot of things, concepts here. Okay, all right, so let me give it like first image. Okay, so let's say first, and the second one I'll also give it class, this, and then sorry, I'll then give it something like second. So we have first image and then second image like this. So we're going to target them differently. Okay, so I'll take you to style.css, and then I'm going to clear everything. So let's clear everything, and then I'll target first image. So it's the first image like this, and this image is going to have opacity of something like 0.2, okay, or 0.4. Let's do 0.4. Now let's target our second image. So we just put second like this, and then we're going to give this second image opacity of 0.7. 7 or 8 or 9, okay, like this. All right, sorry, I did not put opacity, so I'll put opacity, and then I'll put this, and then come here and put my semicolon. Now when I take you to my web browser, the brightness of these images will vary. I don't know what is happening, it's not coming. Good, so we have first and second. Now I'll take you to my web browser. All right, so you know why they are not, the effect is not applying, because they are classes. Okay, so because they are classes, you need to put what? You need to put dots here, okay, and then another dot. Now it should work fine. So when I take you back to my web browser and then reload, now you can see this is having an opacity of 0.4 and this is having 0.9. all right, so that's image opacity in CSS. Okay, so let's talk about how to flip an image. All right, so let me clear everything here. Good. So how do you flip an image? I'll take you back to my images.html, and then I'll clear. Let me leave everything. Okay, let me leave it as it is. So we're going to target them separately. So we'll target our first class and then flip our image. So right now, let me reload this page. So right now, this is how they look. Okay, so we're going to flip the first image. All right, so I'll take there and then I'll put first image, but before that I'll put dot because it's a class. So I'll put first, and then we're going to target this. So in order to flip our images, all we need to do to flip our images, there's what we call transform. So we just put transform like this, and after putting transform, you can enter. Now we're going to put what we call scale of x. Okay, so you can put scale of x. So just put scale x, and inside here we're going to put negative, okay, 1. Put negative 1 there, and then when we go back to our web browser, right now see how it looks. We're going to flip it on the x-axis. So when I reload this page, you can see how it flipped. Okay, it has flipped on the x-axis. Likewise, you can change scale x to scale y so that it will flip on the y-axis. Okay, so change it to capital like this. It's a good practice, and then all we need to do is to turn it, and it will flip on the y-axis. You can see that. So this is flipping. Let's work on our second image. Now this is what I want to do to my second image. I want to hover on it and it will flip. Okay, when I hover my mouse pointer on it, it flips. So how do we achieve this? Okay, so let's go back to our code editor, and then I'll take you to images.html, and I have my second image here with a class called second, and this is my image, right? So let me take you to CSS, and we're going to target our second image, and our second image has a class called second. So put dot, that's period, and then it puts second like this, and after that put what we call column. Okay, so this means on. Okay, so our second image on hover. Okay, so on hover, so that means anytime someone hovers on the second image, this action should be executed, or this code should be executed. So we're going to transform our image. Okay, so we're going to transform it like this. Transform our image, and we're going to scale it on the x-axis. So we put x here like this, and inside here we're going to give it -1 this way, and we close it with a column, semicolon. Now let's go and check our page. So simply reload like this, and with the first one, when you hover on it, nothing happens, but the second one, when you hover, you can see it flips. All right, so guys, that's it. That's how you work on your images with the help of CSS. In my next episode, we're going to be talking about a lot of CSS stuff, so just stick around. If you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel, consider subscribing, because I have videos, amazing videos like this coming your way. Bye bye.